zaidi ya 3,000 walipoteza maisha yao barabarani kwa sababu ya tabia kama hizo. Hautatuangamiza tukiona.
Naomba msamaha, nitampeleka vizuri.
Si wameomba msamaha. Sasa tuende tusafiri kwa mwendo wa aste.
Dere Smart hufikisha abiria salama. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwako na NTSA kwa ushirikiano na European Union.
Hello and welcome to yet another edition of Prime Edition. My name is Mboya. I'm sitting in for JJ Curia. And we open our news tonight with our lead stories.
Rudisheni watoto wasome. Musiwe na wasiwasi. Musiwe na taswishi. Bring your children. They will be safe.
Government assures parents from bandit-prone areas in the North Rift of the safety of their children ahead of the new school term. Facing the mountain, hundreds of pilgrims hold annual prayers in Mount Kenya. Plus, the joy of freedom. Miner returns home after 6 months of serving a jail term in Ethiopia. Broadcast our sign language. Tonight is Brian Muraru and our socials at KBC Channel 1. Now, the government has assured parents from bandit-prone areas in the North Rift of security of learners when schools reopen for the first term next year in 2024. This comes amid security concerns in the region that led to the closure of schools in Baringo and West Pokot counties due to banditry. Frederick Parsayo opens our coverage with that security report.
Months ago at Kapindasum Primary School, Baringo County, an attack that saw the government launch an operation dubbed Operation Malizo Halifu to flush out bandits. Since then, it has borne fruits with the schools which were affected undergoing renovations.
Rudisheni watoto wasome. Musiwe na wasiwasi. Musiwe na taswishi. Bring your children. They will be safe.
The schools are scattered across Baringo and West Pokot counties.
Shule zote zitafunguliwa, ikiwemo Cheptulel Boys, ikiwemo Cheptulel Primary, ikiwemo Sapulmoi, ikiwemo shule zile zingine ambazo ziko katika sehemu hii, na kule pia mpakani wa West Pokot na Turkana South kuna shule zimefungwa, vilevile zinarekebishwa. Januari zote zitafunguliwa.
It is during a visit to the school that the Interior Cabinet Secretary, Professor Kithure Kindiki, made the government's pronouncement on the safety of learners come next year, January.
Niseme ya kwamba shule yetu hii tutaiweka katika ulinzi wa polisi masaa 24 pamoja na askari wetu wa National Police Reservice kutoka hapa West Pokot.
Kindiki adding that they will deploy National Police Reservice to volatile regions in a bid to complement efforts by police officers under the Operation Maliza Uhalifu initiative.
Tarehe 9 Januari watafuzu na tutaanza kuwatuma ili washirikiane na maafisa wetu wa polisi wa kawaida, maafisa wetu wa vitengo maalum vya kiusalama na wanajeshi wetu wa KDF ambao tunasaidiana nao kuhakikisha kwamba wale wakora ambao wametuangaisha siku hizo zote tumedeal na hao.
The government says that this year has been a success as it covered at least 70% on the war against banditry. Pasai Frederick, Prime Edition.
Well, as government assures parents of the safety of learners when they resume school, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is tonight putting on notice people he says are attempting to revive the outlawed Mungiki group. Speaking when he hosted more than 8,000 youth at his residence in Mathira, that's in Nyeri County, Gachagua said that people behind attempts to revive the proscribed criminal group were driving their agenda through media interviews as well as youth meetings disguised as conferences. Here's that report.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua hosted hundreds of youth at his Mathira home in Nyeri County for a Christmas party. The delicacies here did not disappoint, with those present having their fill. It's here where the DP took the opportunity to warn those attempting to revive the outlawed Mungiki group.
Walikuwa wanafanya main conference na ni mambo ya kujaribu kuleta vijana wawapeleke kwa hiyo barabara ambaye serikali haiwezi kukubalia hizo shughuli kurudi. And I'm happy that our young people in this region wamekataa hiyo maneno. Ningetaka kuuliza nyinyi muendelee kuheshimu sheria zetu, kufuata sheria.
Gachagua said the individuals attempting to revive the criminal gang recently held a meeting dubbed Men's Conference, which was a recruitment drive disguised as a normal meeting. He cautioned the youth against attempts to be recruited into the outlawed group.
Msikuje kuingizwa kwa hizo vikundi haramu ambaye ni ya kukeuka sheria, ni ya kuja kufanya madhara kwa wamama wetu na wafanyabiashara wetu.
He also urged the youth to avoid engaging in abuse of toxic alcohol and drugs.
Na mimi ninaita hii pate ya leo kusherehekea ushindi wetu kwa vita dhidi ya pombe haramu na madawa za kulevya.
The DP's warning should come some month after female parliamentarians from Mount Kenya region raised an alarm over the resurgence of the Mungiki sect. Tilio Marco for Prime Edition.
Well, from Tilio Marco's report, let's now look at the latest on the Meru blogger, who is also known as the Sniper. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, ODPP, has responded to claims that it has remained mum in the case of slain Meru blogger Daniel Muthiani Bernard, also known as Sniper. Muthiani was kidnapped and later found murdered. According to the DPP, the Public Prosecutor's Office carried out its mandate diligently. As Abdiaziz Hashim now reports, the ODPP maintains that he is yet to receive an inquiry file from the DCI boss Amin Mohammed on the matter.
The mystery surrounding the death of Meru blogger Daniel Muthiani Bernard alias Sniper continues to raise more questions than answers. The probe has today taken a new twist, with the Director of Public Prosecution, Renson Mulele, breaking his silence after claims that his office failed to consider the matter. In a statement, DPP Mulele, contrary to social media statements pointing a finger at his office, said the case is being dealt with by the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, DCI. Mulele further notes that his office is yet to receive a file from the DCI boss Amin Mohammed on the probe recommending action to be taken. According to the prosecutor, the Mboya Meru County Court decided not to grant the custodial orders and instead released the main suspect, Vincent Mureithi Kirimi, also known as Supu wa Mioro, on a 20,000 shilling cash bond. However, according to the ODPP, after Sniper's body was found, it gave DCI the order to start looking into the incident right away and submit the inquiry file that came from it for review and guidance. This comes days after the post-mortem results of the activist indicated that he was strangled to death.
The other organs were normal. So what happened, he was decomposed. And when a body decomposes, there are some changes which might be misconstrued as injuries. So when you look at the eyes, they look collapsed just because of decomposition. But the other injuries that you saw was the head, because we saw a lot of bruising also on the scalp, on the left side.
The blogger went missing on the 2nd of December, and his remains were found on the 6th at Mutonga River in Tharaka-Nithi County. Abdiaziz Hashim for Prime Edition.
Let's stay with Mount Kenya, and hundreds of pilgrims drawn from all over the country held annual prayers around Mount Kenya. The pilgrims took time to give thanks and pray for the peace in the country, as Beatrice Gatonengatich reports.
During the prayers, the pilgrims faced Mount Kenya and stood in 9 spots around the mountain. Donning blue ribbons that signify peace, they made the trip around the mountain in an anti-clockwise direction and held prayers with their hands raised and facing the mountain. Led by their coordinator Ruth Engesen and Kikuyu elder Samuel Kamitha from Gikoyo Cultural Center, they prayed for peace in the country.
Sasa na sisi tumekuja kwa hii mlima, Mwenyezi Mungu atupatie baraka zake. Na baraka zake kubwa ni hii nchi yetu. Na hii nchi yetu saa hizi tunajisikia sisi ni kama tunalemewa. Kwa hivyo tunaleta hii shida kwa huyu Mungu alituleta hapa.
Engesen emphasized the need for people to embrace cultural prayers and ask for divine intervention to overcome alcoholism and lifestyle diseases.
Kila mtu anaomba ibada yake, anasema sala yake. Kwa ajili kwa Mungu sisi yote tunatoshana. Lakini hapa hii sala tunasema hapa ni ya Mungu mmoja. Mwenyezi Mungu baba yetu aliyeumba juu na chini, na tuchanganyi yeye na ingine.
She said similar prayers were held last year at a time when the country was experiencing political divisions and tensions, noting that they were grateful to God for peace in the country. John Kimani and Nganga Gitao, who were among the Kenyans who turned up for the prayers, said the prayers had impacted on their lives since they started attending the annual pilgrimage.
Hii maombi si maombi tu kama wengine wamesema, ni maombi ambayo iko na baraka kubwa sana kwa ile Mungu alikuzaa nayo, ile talent, ile gift, ile umesomea inakuwa improved wakati umekuja umekaribia Mungu.
Beatrice Gatonyengetich, Prime Edition.
Now from prayers on to another item here. A 16-year-old boy from Turkana who had been imprisoned in the neighboring Ethiopia for 6 months has been released. Arukwon Isekon was imprisoned after he fatally hit an 8-year-old boy from Ethiopia's south with a motorbike. Turkana Governor Jeremiah Lomurkai was at hand to receive the boy. Kamuche Meza tells us more.
Songs and ululations rent the air at Kokuro in Turkana North. One may confuse these celebrations to those of best performing students in final national examinations. But no, these are cheerful songs celebrating the return of a son. A 16-year-old boy who had been detained for 6 months at Jinka prison in Ethiopia South Omo following a motorcycle accident that killed an 8-year-old boy in Omorote South Omo. His release definitely seen as the best gift to his family this Christmas and perhaps a ray of hope for coming years. Turkana County Governor Jeremiah Lomurkai, among other area leaders, skipped Christmas celebrations with their families to join in these jubilations.
Kwa kutuangalie sisi kama majirani wema na kutupatia mtoto huyo bila kutupatia masharti mengi.
He thanked the leadership from Ethiopia for heeding to the plea to release the boy.
And also to thank our county commissioner for being our counterpart, for being a good supporter. And I think now we are somewhere, and we are going to report good results to the President of the Republic of Kenya.
It is good international relations ndio ilileta ya maneno ikispiaidiwa na governor wetu na speaker. So sisi tunaomba hata jirani wetu Uganda, wale watu wetu wenye wamekuwa court martial huko wanaishi maisha mabaya, and Uganda has been a friend country. Sisi tunaomba hawa watu wetu reconsider your stand ndio muweze kuachilia watu wetu wenye wamefungiwa huko.
During the event, which was also attended by authorities from Ethiopian South Omo, representing President Telahun Kibede, the leaders agreed to foster unity and peaceful coexistence among the Turkana and Ethiopian Dasanach border community.
Januari hii ambayo inakuja, tuongelee na kurejelea mambo ya amani. Kwa sababu tukifungua corridor hii yetu, kuna mambo mengi ya biashara tutafanya. Kuna mambo hata elimu.
We brought a boy who was arrested in our government, so we released to the Turkana County, go to the handover to the Turkana County. So we are going to continue about peace, we're going to preach about peace with the Turkana together. Maybe next year, if God willing, we're going to have a big ceremony, peace here in Turkana, with us together.
Turkana and the Sanach of Ethiopia are said to have witnessed conflicts following inter-ethnic clashes along the Kenya-Ethiopian border, with the release of the boy and the planned peace talks expected to calm the area. Kamche Menza for Prime Edition.
An item in the corridors of justice, the High Court has ordered Kenyan businessman Kirimi Koome to return 400 million shillings, which he fraudulently obtained from Rwandese national Desire Muhinyonza. While delivering judgment, Justice Alfred Mboya said that Stay Online Limited, which has been at the center of a commercial case, is rightfully owned by Desire.
Is it our court or it's another court?
The presiding judge, Alfred Mboya, who delivered his ruling virtually, said that Koome does not own the company as contained in his defense and that the company is owned by Desire. He further found and held that Desire, through his lawyers Danstan Omari, Shadrack Wamboi and Sophia Nekesa, proved that Koome had fraudulently and through forgery purported to own the company. Mboya said Desire demonstrated that Stay Online is not only registered in Kenya, but has branches in Uganda, Rwanda, and Zambia.
My Lord Justice Alfred Mboya has delivered a judgment which has, in other words, given confidence to the international investors, given confidence to our local or our Kenyan economy that we are in a very progressive state.
Nashukuru sana mahakama kwa sababu nchi za ng'ambo ambazo wale wawekezaji waliokuwa wanakuja Kenya wanafanyiwa ulaghai na Wakenya, wananyang'anywa zile fedha na wale mabadhuli wezi. Sasa mahakama imesema kwamba haitakuwa tena ni njia ya kuwafilisi wale ambao ni wafadhili ama wale ambao ni wawekezaji katika taifa la Kenya.
The judge further said the $100 million which Koome claims to have paid as tax was never remitted to KRA. In concluding his 22-page judgment, Justice Mboya ordered Koome to pay the cost of the suit that was filed on 29th of September the year 2023. Michael Mondiga for Prime Edition.
On Justice brings us to our first break on Prime Edition. Coming up, we will be going deeper into the second part of this live broadcast. Stay with us.
Unangoja nini? Namna ya kucheza Lucky Game sasa imerahisishwa. Dial *570# na 31st of December magari haya mawili na mtangaza mshindi. Ni rahisi.
An age-old adage says a prophet is right.
Kwenye ulimwengu wa sasa,
Taaluma za mikono zina umaarufu mwingi. Jiunge na Sensei Institute of Technology tukupe ujuzi na uzoefu wa kushughulikia ulimwengu. Tunafunza taaluma kama plant operator, plant mechanics, kuendesha gari na trailer, kuweka CCTV na alarm, kuweka solar, kuweka stima, motorcycle, motor vehicle mechanics na electronics, teknolojia ujenzi wa mijengo, ujenzi wa barabara na mabwawa, hospitality na taaluma nyinginezo. Kujiunga nasi, beba kitambulisho chako na utembelee tawi letu lolote. Sensei College, my skills, my future.
Neighborhood, and I have a few questions about your list.
How do you even know where I live?
Who's hungry? I've got latkes.
Okay, so...
Very impressive.
Hold on.
What? Oh, fancy suit guy?
Yeah, smart. Resourceful. And there's no one I would rather lose this promotion to. You should see your face when you talk about him. You are not as insufferable as I thought.
In a world filled with uncertainty, there is one thing we can always count on: the power of compassion and generosity. Every day, families in Kenya face unimaginable challenges and hardships. They struggle to put food on the table, provide shelter for their loved ones, and access basic health care. But today, you have the power to make a difference. By just contributing 1 shilling and 50 cents from your airtime, your generosity can provide access to sanitary pads, nutritious food, clean water, education, and life-saving medical care to those who need it most. To support this cause, please tune in to your favorite radio station under the KBC umbrella for step-by-step instructions on how to subscribe. KBC Helping Hands. Together, we can make a difference and bring hope to those in need.
Welcome back. Karen Kibet comes a little later on with the day's sports. But first, let's move on with the bulletin. Kenyans have been urged to diversify their travel destinations and explore different cultures and tourist attractions dotting the country. This comes as tourists who visited Lake Baringo Spa tell of an untapped potential in Baringo County. Sarafina Robi was there and filed this report.
In the virgin lands of the Great Rift Valley is the sprawling vegetation dotting the hills and valleys of Baringo County. In its majesty are waterfalls, lakes, and a magical culture that tells the story of mankind in his glory. During this festive season, the story of the beauty of Baringo goes against the grain of what is told.
Baringo is so peaceful, with the climate, which is similar to Mombasa. This is the Mombasa of Rift Valley.
I love the hospitality, the people of Baringo.
At a personal level, mimi niko umumu tu, niko area, sijaenda mbali.
Tourists flock to the hidden gems of Baringo to bask in the splendor of its glory. At the Lake Bogoria Spa, the locals tell of the boom that has come with the festive season.
Wakati hii sisi tunapata mapato, watu kama sisi wenye tunaimba, tunategemea wakati hii kwa watoto wetu, hata itasaweka kidogo mpaka wakati shule inafunguliwa, unapeleka mtoto shule.
We also promote culture by encouraging the community to come and showcase their skills to the clients who we host, and by doing so, they earn an income.
From the charmless dancers, live bands, and arrays of foods, the tourists were spoilt for choice.
The hills, the valleys, and even the gorges and the forest around here is amazing. Here in Lake Bogoria, we have the geishas about 17 kilometers from this point. And this is so beautiful, where we have millions of flamingos flocking here every year. From this lake, we go to Lake Baringo, about 15 kilometers apart.
Lydia Dinteo, the general manager of Lake Bogoria, now urges Kenyans to tap into such destinations and witness the country's diversity.
Happy New Year 2024. So Baringo has so much culture tourism, sports tourism, and of course the scenic. Traveling to Baringo alone is just another tourism.
The locals are grateful for the windfall.
Sababu wakati ile ingine hatuiti mahali kama hapa tukuje tuimbia wageni tupate kitu, lakini wakati ya Disemba kwa sisi ni siku mzuri sana.
The skies above the saline Lake Bogoria, which is a sanctuary for flamingos, have always been a spectacular show of vibrant hues of pink due to the beautiful display of elegant birds. Serafina Robi for Prime Edition.
Our next item is based on a virtue that we all must have. Kenyans have been urged to extend a helping hand to the vulnerable and less fortunate in society. Recovery Mission for Life team leader Collins Obonyo, while distributing goodies to persons with disabilities in Joska Mavoko constituency in Machakos County, called on government and other stakeholders as well to create a kitty for caregivers with persons with disabilities. The recipients had to travel as far as 25 kilometers to receive the aid.
At the Flow of Glory Church in Joska, Machakos County, persons with disabilities and their caregivers sampled clothes donations. They're then given food items to cushion themselves and their families during the festive season. A little entertainment, followed by a talent show. The persons with disabilities, most of them young, are battling victimization, neglect, and some with ailments.
Tunakaa na shushu yangu, mama wetu alienda, alitoroka alafu shushu wetu akatuchukua akakaa na sisi. Hatujui alienda siku gani, alituacha na shushu yetu.
Na mimi nikamfungulia nje nikamwambia kama umeenda kazi sawa tu. Enda kazi na uende ukijua mali umeniacha. Wewe mwenyewe umeniacha ukijua si uko kazi, niko mgonjwa na umeniachia watoto.
Mamake naye akapigwa na stroke akaparalyze pande moja. Kwa hivyo ikanibidi niache kwangu nikuje kukaa na hao watoto. Nafanyanga vibarua tu ndio tunapata chakula. Hiyo boma iko na shida sana.
The donors are saying such initiatives, especially during the holiday season, serve as a kind reminder that the persons living with disabilities are not alone.
Caregivers wako na shida kwa sababu wengi wao wanatumia madawa ambao ni very expensive. Kutoka hapo wanasikia at least hata stigma imeisha. Kutoka hapo wanasikia wanajikubali, wanashare, wana exchange.
The donations will aid these individuals meet their needs. Isufar reporting for Prime Edition.
Let's move away now from that report on persons who are abled differently and shine a spotlight on Kenya's 2023, the year in review. A tapestry of international events unfolding, showcasing the nation's role on the global stage. Kenya experienced a momentous year filled with significant events and global engagements. The year kicked off with great anticipation You remember King Charles III making a historic visit to the nation, fostering diplomatic ties and symbolizing a new chapter in international relations. Kenya's commitment to environmental stewardship took center stage as the country proudly hosted the inaugural African Climate Summit. Mari Yambo takes us through some of the 2023 momentous events.
In a historic chapter for Kenya, the year 2023 marked the inaugural visit of King Charles III as the reigning British monarch. The nation buzzed with excitement and anticipation as it prepared to welcome the royals. The 4-day state visit commenced with a visit to State House, Nairobi. The king was accorded the ceremonial 21-gun salute by members of the Kenya Defence Forces. The royal itinerary included a visit to the Kariakor war graves in honor of those who died serving the Kariakors, a regiment whose name and legacy left a mark in Kenya after the First World War of 1914 to 1918. Known for his commitment to conservation of biodiversity and climate action, King Charles III and his entourage made their way to Mombasa, where a host of marine conservationists showcased their efforts towards protecting the coastal strip's ecosystem. At a state banquet hosted by President William Ruto, the two leaders acknowledged the painful history of the colonial era.
Your exemplary courage and readiness to shed light on uncomfortable truths that reside in the darker regions of our shared experience are also very commendable.
By addressing our history with honesty and openness, we can perhaps demonstrate the strength of our friendship today,
while also committing to deepening diplomatic ties between the two countries.
We both take considerable pride in renewing the ties between the United Kingdom and Kenya, a country that has long held such special meaning for my family. Najisikia kama niko nyumbani.
As the year unfolded, Kenya led the continent in the ongoing climate change conversations by hosting the inaugural Africa Climate Summit in Nairobi. Among demands by the delegates at the summit were commitments to the principles of climate justice, human rights, gender equality, and intergenerational equity in all climate policies and actions.
Africa is a renewable energy and natural capital superpower, but it has not engaged the world and the climate crisis in a climate positive green growth agenda. And it is now time for Africa to take a new position, a progressive and a positive position.
Kenya's commitment to sustainability took center stage as President William Ruto read out the Nairobi Declaration, setting a precedent for eco-conscious initiatives across the continent.
Let the declaration of our commitment to act in unison and deliver our aspirations go forth in the firm, clear voice of a united Africa from Nairobi today.
The Middle East featured prominently in Kenya's diplomatic engagements. The visit of the Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi not only bolstered ties but also opened avenues for collaborative efforts in various spheres.
That include education, scholarship, infrastructure, health, water, fisheries, agriculture and housing, urban and metropolitan development, among other areas.
This country, it boasts great capacities, and we also share great capacities, and our country exchanges of such capacities could contribute to enhancement of our bilateral relations.
Kenya's global reach expanded further with the meeting of minds as President Joko Widodo of Indonesia made his inaugural visit to Nairobi and Africa as Kenya and Indonesia sought to foster partnership, particularly in the manufacture of pharmaceuticals and vaccines.
I hope that this cooperation can be expanded to medicinal products and other pharmaceutical items. Fourth, I have also conveyed Indonesia's commitment through Indonesian aid for for Kenya in the fields of healthcare, food security, and disaster management.
President William Ruto singled out livestock and all sectors as areas of mutual interest. To bolster the relations, Kenya waived visa requirements for Indonesian citizens.
We have taken the decision to extend the visa-free entry not only to holders of diplomatic and service passports, but to all holders of Indonesian passports. So our friends from Indonesia can now come to Kenya visa-free.
President Ruto has also hosted his Angolan counterpart, President João Lourenço, seeking closer relations with the Southern African nation. Angola's president committed to implement agreements signed between Nairobi and Luanda for the mutual benefit of the two countries.
For all those years, we've been waiting up until we had the opportunity of signing this big number of cooperation instruments of which we are going to do our utmost in order to implement them for the interest of the two peoples and the nations.
Escalating our trade numbers. Our brothers and sisters in Angola, after the signing of the instrument today, all of them, with all passports, will now need no visa to come to Kenya.
Italy's President Sergio Mattarella added a European touch to Kenya's diplomatic calendar. Bilateral agreements included collaboration in, among others, the health sector and political consultations.
Our two countries shall cooperate in the fields of health towards the realization of universal health coverage and improved pharmaceutical production.
We very much appreciated the crucial role played by you, Mr. President, your government, the role that Kenya as a whole has played in Ethiopia, so that we could solve the dramatic confrontation between the Ethiopian government and the Tigray region.
Diplomatic dance continued as Kenya welcomed the Prime Minister of the Czech Republic, emphasizing the significance of international cooperation and shared values.
The economic partnership agreement that now has been concluded, and we will be signing it off on the 17th of December, that affords Kenya, being the first country in our region, to get quota-free, duty-free access to the European market.
IT technologies and space research is also very promising area. Our high-tech companies already work with Kenyan partners on development of small satellites.
Another significant visit was by the Romanian president, cementing Kenya's position as a key player in global affairs, including climate action and trade.
I requested His Excellency the President to join me in advocating for climate action and calling upon developed nations to work with us. And I have requested him directly to support the Nairobi Leaders' Declaration.
I've expressed my appreciation for the role of leader undertaken by President Ruto and Kenya in the efficient management and fighting climate change. And we've agreed that our administrations cooperate tighter in this respect.
As the year concluded, Kenya stood at the intersection of diverse diplomatic endeavors, leaving an indelible mark on the international stage and reinforcing its commitment to fostering positive relationships across continents. Marie Ambo reporting for the Spotlight 2023.
How are you, Kenyans? My name is John Jacob Kuriet. I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I bring you the 9 p.m. news on Wednesdays and Sundays, and I also serve in the police quarters. I want to wish you the very best. Be careful on the roads. Make merry but carefully. God bless.
his death has condemned them to live a rivalry because of their father. He killed my brother. He stayed with his land and with his wife. Or did you forget how my brother Tulio Irazabal died?
I dare you to kiss me again.
What we feel is too strong to just let it go.
Your wife is cheating on you. Shut up! Who is your lover?
Tell me why last night you lied to your boyfriend, Amparo. Explain to me what you were doing outside our house, kissing the veterinarian.
I have fallen in love with another man.
3 love affairs that will be challenged. The 3 will manage to get ahead. Their magnificence, their passion and strength. Las Bandidas.
Welcome back now. In a world where heroism takes many forms, not every hero wears a hero's cap. So tonight, as part of our India review, we shine a spotlight on men and women who are putting the extra into the ordinary to leave an indelible mark in their respective fields, earning accolades, recognition, and admiration, from education to entrepreneurship, sports to culinary arts. Our reporter Joy Joanne shares details of these men and women who are celebrated this year for doing ordinary things in an extraordinary way.
Prophet is rarely celebrated at home. I sought to challenge this adage by beginning the story right here at KBC, where we celebrate 2 radio personalities, Martin Kingasia and Catherine Donye.
My name is Catherine Donye, always glad to host you on this show that has been your companion every evening for decades now. This is where we find solace.
The duo are among the men and women feted with a head of state commendation during this year's Jamhuri Day celebrations by President William Ruto.
Bwana, naona napigiwa simu, naomba uniachilie. Nikuachilie? Napigiwa simu, naitwa ofisini. Kwa hiyo usiniulize maswali mengi. Sitaki kuuliza maswali mengi.
They were honored for their contribution to the field of broadcast as Kenya marked its 60th birthday since independence. A recognition they were honored to receive.
Nina shukrani kubwa sana kwa KBC kwa kunipa nafasi. Naishukuru serikali ya Mheshimiwa William Ruto kwamba imetambua mchango wangu na it has made my year really a big year. Mwaka wangu umeboreka sana na nashukuru sana.
This one does not have a price tag on it. It just gives you some renewed energy, renewed happiness. You feel no matter the challenges, because everywhere you go, where somebody is working, there has to be challenges. But after all this time, the consistency, the sacrifice, the hard work, somebody tells you, thank you for what you've been doing.
Kwa chipukizi ambao wana ndoto ya wakati mmoja, wana ruwaza ya wakati mmoja kujitosa katika tasnia ya utangazaji, kwanza waweke malengo yao.
If you start doing what you like, you'll find yourself going out of your way to perfect it. You will aim at perfection and gain excellence, because nobody is perfect.
As we congratulated them for their success, we shift focus and look at other men and women who have left a mark in various fields for the last 12 months.
Maybe what makes you...
For instance, in the education sector, Millicent Cassianes is celebrated as a beacon of hope for children with special needs. She is the founder of BL Teza Special School for the Deaf, now educating over 120 impaired children. Her innovative teaching methods, including the use of ICT and partnerships with NGOs, have transformed the lives of her students. In 2023, she was among the finalists nominated for the prestigious Global Teachers Prize, an award that was received by Kenyan teacher Peter Tabichi in 2019.
And in Africa, I was among the top 9. It was such a good moment for me. I celebrated so much, and it's a big privilege. In our career, it is not easy to be known globally, but I am requesting the Ministry of Education to at least even build one classroom in that school, because we still don't have enough infrastructure to be able to run the school well.
Shifting gears to entrepreneurship, Catherine Gishungu, CEO of Califlora, has received international accolades. The United Nations honored her as one of 12 global business leaders advancing sustainable development goals. Califlora, the first in Kenya to use eco-friendly flower wraps, broke records with biodegradable bouquets, contributing to environmental conservation. In the field of healthcare, Elizabeth, the dancing nurse, danced her way into the hearts of many after a TikTok video of her cheering a sick child at Kitale Teaching and Referral Hospital went viral. Her simple act of humanity pushed her into the limelight and opened up opportunities. During the 76th World Health Assembly in Geneva, Switzerland, Elizabeth represented East Africa and delivered a presentation on behalf of the World Health Organization during the opening ceremony. In celebrating entrepreneurial excellence, Thomas Njeru, CEO of Pula Advisors Limited, secured the second prize in Africa's Business Heroes Prize competition. His innovative work at Pula Advisors Limited earned Kenya international acclaim as he walked away with a cash prize of $250. After an impressive 90-hour and 15-minute cookathon, she surpassed the previous record, becoming a culinary sensation and making Kenya proud.
I usually mentor schoolgirls from high school, and they have dreams, but they let go of their dreams. So I keep telling them that your dream has got no expiry date. No matter what age, culture, ethnicity, tradition, religion, your dream has no expiry date.
And there's nothing to separate them at the bell. Inside the last 400 metres.
In the realm of sports, Faith Kipyegon, a double world record holder, received the Elder of the Order of the Golden Heart of Kenya award. She made history as the first Kenyan to win the Women's World Athlete of the Year for track events, setting records for the 1500 meters and 5000 meters.
I'm so proud of myself. You know, to have achieved what I achieved this year was magnificent. It was a dream come true from a long time ago. So I'm so proud of myself.
Today, I have conferred upon our world-beating athlete, Faith Kipyegon, the rank and status of Elder of the Order of the Golden Heart, the highest honor our country awards its citizens who illuminate the path of excellence.
Abekun of Sri Lanka in 2 in the blue near the top. Aminiala of Kenya.
At the same time, we celebrate local sprinting sensation Ferdinand Omanyala. Omanyala came in 4th, having run a world-leading time of 9.84 seconds at the Cape Kano Classic in the Continental Tour Gold Series back in May. Moreover, he was awarded the Moran of the Order of the Burning Spear by His Excellency President Ruto during the Jamhuri Day celebrations.
He takes the goal for Kenya, 10-0-2 into a slight headwind.
I equally salute Ferdinand Omanyala, Mary Mora, Kevin Kiptum, Emmanuel Wanyonyi, Faith Cherotich, who have also registered their presence in the world stage, and they too will be feted.
Concluding our spotlight, we celebrate Eliud Kipchoge. In a prestigious ceremony held in Spain, world-renowned marathoner Kipchoge was honored the Princess of Asturias Award for Sports this year. Celebrated for his outstanding record of 16 victories out of 18 marathons, Kipchoge received this esteemed award, recognizing individuals, entities, or organizations globally for remarkable achievements in sciences, humanities, and public affairs. As the year closes, these inspiring stories from men and women should challenge us to put the extra before the ordinary, and we too can contribute to making the world a better place. John Junge for KBC Channel 1.
Well, I was told if you believe in yourself, you have a dedication, and you never quit, you emerge victorious. Let's look at an item here on the blue economy. Fishermen in the Indian Ocean are benefiting from the 4-year, 10 billion shillings deep sea fishing program. The World Bank's Kenya Marine Fisheries and Socio-Economic Development Program has provided fishermen with deep sea fishing gear and financial assistance to acquire modern fishing vessels in a bid to increase fish earnings.
Climate change and lack of proper fishing gear has seen fishermen in the Indian Ocean grapple with reduced earning in recent years due to depletion of fish stocks. In a move aimed at creating more job opportunities and increase fishermen earnings, the World Bank is now supporting local fishermen to tap into the 300 billion shillings marine economy by assisting the fishermen acquire modern deep-sea fishing gear.
Yeah, the deep-sea fishing venture for us is unlocking the blue economy potential, because if you go to the deep sea, most of these fishes are migratory. So it means that it will increase the fish landings. So the traders, the fish traders, they will have good catch, and also they'll have the fish that is required in the market.
The fishermen are also facilitated to access credit of up to 2 million shillings to access deep-sea fishing vessels.
They know how to ride the boats, but they don't have coxswain license. Most of their boats were not seaworthy. So what we have done as a project is to take the fishers for a training of coxswain, which has been done. We have engaged them with Kisumu Maritime.
KEMSED ilipokuja, sisi kama kikundi cha Shela Fisherman and Trader tumekuwa na hiki kikundi kwa muda wa miaka 25. Kwa muda wote huyo tulikuwa hatuna boti, lakini tunashukuru kwa mradi huu tulifanya application na alhamdulillah tumefaulu.
The project aims at restocking fish in shallow waters by aiding fishermen increase migratory fishes catch. The modern vessels are fitted with refrigeration equipment to preserve fishermen's catch and increase on-sea fish processing. Beatrice Gatonyangetich, Prime Edition.
Unangoja nini? Namna ya kucheza Lucky Game sasa imerahisishwa. Dial *570# na 31st of December magari haya mawili na mtangaza mshindi. Ni rahisi, *570#.
Get ready for the captivating return of the FKF Premier League, exclusively on KBC. Brace yourself for the thrill of football as 18 teams battle it out for glory. Every week, KBC brings you not one, but 2 heart-pounding matches, delivering the best football action right to your living room. The stakes are higher than ever. The league champion takes home a handsome prize of 5 million shillings and also earns the honor of representing Kenya in the prestigious CAF Champions League. Feel the adrenaline, experience the suspense, and join the roar of the crowd as we celebrate the return of Kenya's football legacy. The FKF Premier League, live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1 and KBC radio stations. Save the date, mark your calendars, and get ready for the ultimate football spectacle. Coming to you live only on KBC. KBC, your true sports partner.
Well, it's now time to look at the day's sports, and Karen Kibet is on set already. She is a bit surprised to see me today after I signed out yesterday for the year.
Oh yes, I definitely knew yesterday's bulletin was your last.
Yeah.
But I know you're sitting in for one of our colleagues.
Yeah,
Kioria, we missed you today, and we do hope you're doing well.
Okay.
And Kotam, it's good to have you around.
Okay. Pleasure is mine.
Thank you so much. It's now time for us to take a look at what's making headlines in the world of sports. My name is Karen Kibet. Kisumu Combined thumped a hapless Yaya Combined FC by 3-0 to book a slot in the final against Homa Bay Combined at Jomo Kenyatta Stadium on Thursday as the Eliud Owalo Super Cup entered day 2. Siaya will now face Migori Combined in the 3rd and 4th playoff match on Thursday. Achola Simon with the details.
Eugene Ocheng put Kisumu Combined ahead on the stroke of first half after fine team play that saw Cliff Otieno float a perfectly weighted pass for the advancing Ocheng. The goal capped an entertaining first half that saw Kisumu Combined dominate the proceedings. On resumption, Omamo Dimple scored the second for Kisumu Combined after goal-mouth melee following a well-crafted move by the star player Christopher Raila. Second half substitute Eneju Abakar put matters beyond Siaya when he scored the third. The win sets up a tantalizing final between Kisumu Combined and Homa Bay Combined, a repeat of the Talanta Hela final where Homa Bay emerged victorious.
Now tomorrow, Kisumu Combined will now play against Homa Bay Combined, which won yesterday's match. That match will kick off at 3 p.m. So that we decide the winner of this tournament. And then at midday, we will have a curtain raiser match, pitting Siaya Combined against Migori Combined to decide who becomes number 3 and who becomes number 4.
So I think youth talent is important. And as leaders, we must encourage youth and nurture talent. I like the scouting bit, that you're scouting, you have Dow and the other technical team identifying talent for the next stage.
The winner of the 3-day tournament will walk away with 400,000 Kenya shillings, while the first runner-up will pocket 300,000 shillings. The third and fourth place teams will walk away with 200,000 and 100,000 respectively.
From what we saw yesterday in Homa Bay and what we have seen here today, is a clear evidence that we have talent, and we have talent at the grassroots. But many a times our young boys and perhaps girls miss the opportunity to express that talent. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Eliud Owalo Foundation and Waziri for giving our young people that opportunity to express themselves.
Waziri, I think this is a good experience, and it's not the end. This is Eliud Owalo Super Cup 1. This is the first edition. So definitely there's going to be a second edition, and I expect more even during Easter.
The best players selected in each position will get a chance to test their mettle against Gor Mahia in a friendly match at Nyilima Grounds in Rarieda, Siaya County on Saturday.
Let me take this opportunity also to welcome everybody over and above the matches we are playing tomorrow to also come to Nyilima on Saturday the 30th to watch that epic duel between Gor Mahia and Nyanza Combined.
Achola Simon, Prime Edition, Kisumu County.
Thank you, Achola, for keeping us up to speed with everything concerning the first edition of the Eliud Owalo Super Cup. Moving on, the national men's handball team kicked off their non-residential training on Wednesday at Nyayo Stadium ahead of the upcoming Africa Cup of Nations slated for the 15th to the 29th of January in Egypt. The Kenyan men's team is expected to leave the country on 15th of January.
Tactician Brian Matthews says the provisional squad of 25 players will be whistled down to 18 as they step up training ahead the continental assignment.
The one training has been good. We've done a lot of tests, running tests, physical tests, and a little bit of ball work in the finish. When it comes to selection of a team, it's going to be 110% fair because it's not a one-man selection team. It's a unit that is done by different coaches, and a lot of things will be looked at. Punctuality, performance at training. The boys are raring to go. We are shaping up. I want to believe that the support that we've been getting of late has really pushed us up. It has really impacted positively on our players.
and the mindset is good. I want to believe that the results this time are going to be different.
National Cereals and Produce Board player Timothy Kirimi believes the team will be ready for the task ahead and remains optimistic they will register good results.
The team that has been organized and called for this championship is a good team, a good mixture of experience and upcoming talent. The energy is there. Everything is intact right now, and the team is ready to compete well.
These guys are really very much psyched, and I also think from how it has been, they are really motivated. They're feeling this is the opportunity, this is a chance to represent the country to the next level, and I'm sure they're up to task.
The championship will also be an Olympic game qualifier, with the winner making it to Paris, while the two runners-up will proceed to the African Games. Kenya and Rwanda are the only Zone 5 representatives who will take part in the Africa Cup of Nations. The Kenya men's team is expected to leave the country on January 15th. King Orimwangi, for Prime Edition Sports.
Thank you, King Orimwangi, for that report. Moving on, Joyce Ndirangu, Madelta Glianda, and Veronica Matei extended their dominance on day 2 of the ongoing National Chess Championship at Charter Hall, Nairobi. Apart from crowning the national champions, the event will also be used to select the national team for various international events next year.
Ndirangu defeated Esther Karanja, while Madelta Glanda won against Charlie Ngima in round 3 of the championship. Sasha Mongeli trounced Nzuri Karoki as Julie Mutisia lost to Veronica Matei.
I'm a passionate player, and I believe besides the wins, we need the experiences to improve. So I think being here and playing with top players is a good experience in itself.
I'm here to win the cup. It has always been my dream to start driving through chess. I'm expecting tougher competition as we go ahead. We have very strong players, but I've been training in the recent 5 months, and I expect all the best.
In the open session rank, after round 3, Joseph Maragu, Matthew Kamau and Joseph Watwoli are currently in the lead with 3 points. In the ladies session, Sasha Mongeli, Joyce Nyarwai and Madelta Glanda top with 3 points.
Tournament is tough, but it's good. It helps a lot, and the opponents are tough, and I'm learning a lot from the games. According to me, chess is a game that inspired me because it helps with sharpening the brain.
I'm hoping to finish on top 3, maybe win the Carlser. At the moment, the tournament is quite competitive. We are still struggling to make more wins. Tomorrow is going to be a hard game because the more you win the rounds, the more you meet competitive players.
The 5-day event will see Kenyans national champions in both men's and women's category crowned, as well as players living with disabilities and junior players. At stake is a brand new Nissan Note car for the open winner. Cash prizes totaling 453,000 shillings will be also an offer for other categories. The event will also be used to select a national team for various international events next year. King Orimwangi for Prime Edition Sports.
Thank you, King Ori, once again. The third leg of the Kenya Volleyball Federation National League will be held on 11th to 12th of January 2024 at Malaba Stadium, Busia County. Kenya Ports Authority men's team will face Kenya Forest Service. Equity Bank will be up against Prisons Rift Valley. Powerhouse GSU will take on Mount Kenya Base Unit, Base Yetu, while reigning national champions Prisons Kenya will play Nyanza Prisons. In the women's category, Prisons Kenya will face Kenya Pipeline, Post Bank will play Bunge, KDF will square it out with Vihiga County, defending champions KCB will take on Kenya Army, while Nairobi Water will be up against Maranatha. The teams will thereafter take part in the Dr. Arthur Odera Volleyball Tournament from the 13th to the 14th of January. The are all the sports stories we had for you tonight, but I do not know why my director would not allow us to run the Manchester United win that Rasmus last night, saw us come back with a 3-2 win against Aston Villa. It's okay, but we won. Uncle Tom, I know you're joining me right now. It's good to see you again. I thought you had...
You know what, Marakwet?
Yes.
It's very obvious. The reason why he's not running, that's the answer.
He's not a Manchester United fan. That is why.
Well, we've got to go, and I want to thank everybody, including the sports anchor, Karen, fondly referred to as Marakwet Kibet, and the team in the back end. We want to thank you on this day that 195 people were killed as fighting continues south of Khan Yunis city in Gaza, and we all hope for peace in the Middle East. My name is Mboya, and I'm wishing you a pleasant evening from Nairobi, Kenya. Good night, and God bless you.